All right, everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. So this is for Wednesday, March 8th, 2017. And today, generally, we are coming off of what has been a very mental or mentally active part of the week. This first half, we had Mercury over the sun, giving us a lot of that mental stimulation or that sort of buzzing feeling where there's just a lot of energy with the things we're thinking about or speaking, or perhaps with the routine as well. But that's easing up. We have the moon going into Cancer here today, which is very different. This is about the emotional side to life. Very good for reflection, connecting to our sentiments, maybe spending some time at home or with family, things like that. Good just to kind of connect that inner guidance, that intuition, which is Cancer. Now, along with that, Mercury is slowly but surely starting to shift into Pisces, which, depending on your receptivity, you may start to feel this here today. This is where our minds are now joining up to or with Venus and Mars. You know, Venus and Mars have been in Pisces, and that's been that oceanic energy I've been saying about surrendering, letting go, and seeing where that current takes us, right, and the importance of that surrender. So now Mercury goes here, which is our practical minds. So our minds are now in the ocean, or shifting there. And so the more willing we are to let go of everything we might think about or even work with on a daily level with Mercury, but the more willing we are to let go of the mind, of everything outside of our immediate sphere of influence, then we're working very well with this Piscean energy, which is, again, becoming more so as these planets move in there. So anyways, that shift with the mind going into the intuition as well. This is more of the intuition of the vastness of life, of surrendering and seeing what comes our way once we've relinquished that mental control. Along with that, Mercury is still somewhat sextiling up to Pluto today, but the sun is going to start to sextile Pluto going into tomorrow. So there can be a lot of depth, again, very good for things involving the mind, maybe research, uncovering things, using that really deep mind into whether it's productive things or maybe it's communicating how we feel. It could be through transformation and spirituality, understanding more about ourselves psychologically and all this. So that's really much emphasized in a sense that there's an opening for this, right? There's just an opening with the sextiles today, saying that there can be some opportunity to connect on a deeper level. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this in more detail when we return. All right, so there it is, the moon in Cancer. Moon loves to be in Cancer. You know, this is the emotions in an emotional sign, and our concern on an emotional area. So we could be concerned for things like privacy, wanting to protect our intrinsic values, you know, again, our sentiments. And that's why it makes it so good for things like home, family, but it may not necessarily be that externally. It's just a connecting to that within ourselves. Again, connecting that intuition, connecting to that reflective nature and our bodies as well. So that's going to be the backdrop of the sort of flavor of the day, you can say, with that. We still have the sun in Aquarius. So there's a lot of, as there has been in a big picture sense, still a lot of progressive energy, you know, expressing who we are, wanting freedom in our life, wanting to be who we are. You know, it can be very individualistic at the moment. And that's been Mercury here as well. But as we start to go through the rest of the week, Mercury is going to go into Pisces to join up with Mars and Venus, as you can see here, adding to this very watery, intuitive energy. So again, Mercury is the part of ourselves that wants things figured out. It's the mind. And so, you know, the best way of working with this is, you know, letting go of everything that the mind might project or want to understand or want to figure out, whatever it might be, you know, with ourselves, our life, whatever we might be focused on. So the more willing we are to do that detachment and surrender, we can find that there's a tremendous intuition that arises and a tremendous inner guidance and a flow that we can connect to, that again, we have been connecting to, but now we can connect to with the mind. So meditation, obviously, spiritual activities, prayer, anything that helps us surrender everything outside of that control can be fantastic for these coming weeks. All right, so that's the placements in terms of the aspects. As you can see here, definitely coming off of what was a lot of that mental stimulation with Mercury and the Sun the past couple days, few days, shifting into what is more of an opportunity type of day. We've got Mercury sextiling Pluto, and of course with them together, the Sun sextiling Pluto going into tomorrow. So with the sextile, it's just an opening, and the opening here is we can choose or choose not to go into the deeper dimensions of life. But it's great to do so. Sextiles do provide an opportunity. So whether you're doing, again, deep research, or you're uncovering some hidden things, maybe about work, maybe about yourself, fundamentally, Pluto is about inner transformation. So it can be a great day for facing fears, accepting some things about the deeper dimensions of life, or deeper dimensions of ourself, maybe spiritually or psychologically. And through that, there can be a tremendous transformation. And that's really how things start anyways, right? They start within. As we do that inner transformation and we free ourselves up from those things that we're afraid of because we've faced the fears, we've accepted them, or those things that are inhibiting us or holding us back, we've accepted things for the way that they are, it frees us up. And that's the tremendous power of Pluto, is essentially breaking those shackles of the things that hold us back, primarily fears. And so as we do that within, then we're willing to make the changes in our external environment, and we're free to make the changes in that external environment. So a very good day for that. It's just an opening, but if you are feeling like getting deeper with anything, or using that deep mind you might have, or expressing yourself even in deep ways with the Sun, this can be a great day for that. All right, so we won't be thrusted into it, but it's certainly available. So that's the most important thing astrologically, is those sextiles, but we do have the moon squaring up to Mars on a minor note. So there might be a bit of clash here today with our personal needs, wanting things a certain way or our way or something like that. But again, remembering that Mars is, of course, in Pisces, finishing up, mind you, next week he is going to go into Aries, which will be a much better placement for Mars. But here today, again, surrender, letting go, detachment, compassion, understanding if it's relationship oriented. All of this more receptive stuff can be great with that square. All right, so that is the day in a nutshell. Opening here for depth, intimacy with life, openness with life, vulnerability with ourselves, with life. And through that opening, I think some great things can come from it. And as a backdrop again, I think the theme is simply connecting to our emotions, to our sentiments, to that reflective nature. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.